Hello everybody from Orlando, Florida. I'm so excited to be away from the cold and finally somewhere where it's only slightly less cold. It's shockingly frigid in Orlando right now and I just don't really understand. I think this is maybe the coldest it's ever been that I've visited Orlando, but I mean I really still can't complain. Like, I'm not gonna complain any more than I already have. So I am sitting here in the Port Orleans Riverside Hotel on site at Disney property with my lovely madre. Hello madre, her name is Becky. You all may not call her madre because she is my madre. So, and I'm the only child. I'm the only one that gets to do it. So, sorry. It feels like we have had a whirlwind day and we haven't even been to any of the parks yet. Like, I'm exhausted.
And we have like morning call.
I know.
At 7 a.m.
I know. So it's about like 10:20 right now at night, and we got to be up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But we've got our first set of magic hours tomorrow morning at Epcot, 8 a.m. bright and early, and we want to get there right when everything opens up. So of course our goal time is to leave the hotel around 7 a.m. Long story short, it's gonna be an early morning, but not much has changed. I had an early flight this morning anyway, so it's fine. But I just kind of wanted to work through some of the things that we did today. You know, I tried out a lot of the fun features that they have for Disney hotel guests, and so I just wanted to walk you through some of those things. The first of which was the Disney Magical Express. So this is something that has been invented since the last time I visited Disney. Honestly, a lot of things have changed. It seems like every park has something new that I haven't visited yet at this point. And we don't typically stay on site as guests. My dad travels a lot for work, so when I was growing up, we would stay at like Marriott affiliated hotels to use his points and things like that. So we've always kind of been the off-site Disney geeks, but we're trying out some new stuff so that hopefully I can learn about what it's like to be an on-site guest. And so one of those benefits is using Disney's Magical Express. And it was actually a really simple process. So basically the process starts like once you've booked your flight. If you don't already have that booked with your reservation when you make your hotel reservation, then you'll have to either call Disney to get your flight added to your reservation, or you can use your Disney travel agent and they will do it for you. But so basically once it gets synced up with your reservation, then they will send you a luggage tag to your house or directly to your travel agent, and then the travel agent will send it to your house that you put on your bag. And it's just like this little yellow thing, just like, you know, the regular airline tags that they'll give you for your luggage. And that way the Magical Express people know to grab your bag off the baggage claim and deliver it to your hotel. So I didn't even grab it from the baggage claim. I literally flew into Orlando. I put on my nice magic band, and then I followed the very obvious signs to get to the Magical Express. So whatever airline you fly into MCO on, which in order to use the Magical Express, you do have to fly into MCO. So you can't fly into Sanford Airport that's like on the northeast side. It can't be that one. You have to fly into Orlando's main airport. So, but it can be any airline as long as it's within that airport. So I flew into MCO, then I hopped on the tram that took you to the center of the airport, and then as soon as I got to the main hub at the center of Orlando where they have all of the gift shops, like you'll see a SeaWorld gift shop, a Disney one, a Harry Potter one, you'll start seeing signs for Disney's Magical Express. So you basically have to go down to the first floor, because once you get to the main center with all those gift shops, you're on the third floor. So you got to find either an elevator or escalator to take you down 2 flights, and then there are just signs everywhere that say this way to the Magical Express. So you follow those nifty signs. You have to have your magic band with you in order to check in for your Magical Express reservation, more or less. It's not like an actual reservation, but if you signed up for it, you got to have your magic band in order for them to recognize you, you know, as an on-site guest. So if for some reason you forgot your magic band, they do have desks available, and you can say, hey, here's my reservation number, help me get on this Magical Express bus. But basically all I had to do was just tap my magic band to their little Mickey symbol, and it lit up green, and they said go in row 9, and I did. And then I met another guy and I tapped my magic band again. He said get on bus 41, and I said you got it. So I did, and honestly it only took me about 20 minutes to get off the plane and onto my bus. And then it took me about another 20 minutes before the bus left. So I don't know if that's typical or not. The bus was about halfway full when I got on, and so they waited another 20 minutes before they decided to head out. So, and then it probably took another 25 or 30 minutes just to get from Orlando Airport to the hotel. And they don't just go directly to your hotel. They had 4 stops that they were making for mine. I mean, the process was like kind of lengthy, but when you consider the fact that you don't have to pay for an Uber or a taxi, and you also don't have to worry about grabbing your luggage, it's pretty nice. You know, you get that for free, and that's a pretty big benefit. So I definitely think that's one of the best parts about staying on site at a Disney resort. But back to the luggage thing, honestly, that was kind of weird for me. Like, I had a slight panic moment, but it seems like, so they play these videos on the Magical Express that they do have, like, you know, cartoon shorts of like Mickey and Minnie and things like that to, you know, lighten the mood or whatever. But they talk about the process of how the Magical Express works. And so there were several videos that was like, this is how it works when they grab your baggage off the baggage claim, and they scan the little barcode and they'll deliver it to your room. And so it was like they were subconsciously reassuring me that my baggage was going to be okay. So you just got to trust the Disney magic, and you know, that's what the trip is all about, right? So a sidebar actually about my luggage, I had a stroke of misfortune. I'm not really sure what happened here because I love the luggage brand that we use. Like, it's Eagle Creek. My parents use it. Like, we've been using it for years. It's so lightweight, and I always recommend it to people, and it's honestly kind of expensive. But my luggage was delivered. Like, we went out and did a few things, and then we came back to the room to freshen up for dinner before heading over to Disney Springs. And my luggage was delivered. I was like, yay, I can grab my bag, everything's good. And so I put my suitcase down and start trying to get into it, and I can't find the zippers anywhere, but my bag is closed. And so I'm like fondling my bag, looking all around, before I realize that my zippers are gone. And there's like this tiny little hole that I was able to wedge my finger into and just like pull the zipper open with my finger. My zippers are gone. Like, I put a TSA lock on my zippers this morning. It's the first time I've used it too, so I'm not really sure what happened there, but like, I don't know, it's the strangest thing. I'm not exactly happy about it because, like I said, this wasn't the cheapest luggage, but this is honestly like never happened to me before. So I just don't know, like, they were just not clean off. There's not even like a fray that shows, like, you know, something being torn off my bag. My zippers just disappeared. It was weird looking for new luggage, so that'll be fun. And we gotta find a way to get my luggage down the stairs and into Mom's Mini Cooper to drive back to Florida after this trip is done. So that'll be an interesting challenge for us. So to be continued on how that saga goes. But that's essentially everything that you need to know about Disney's Magical Express. So I'm not actually going to be taking the Magical Express home this time, but basically it's the same process, like, that comes on a regular basis to your hotel. And there are these nice TVs that tell you what time you can expect the next shuttle for whether you're trying to go to the airport or to any Disney parks, whatever. There's a big TV that tells you what time the next shuttle will arrive, which is nice. And then you just bring your bags with you that morning, so your bags don't magically disappear. And you wouldn't want them to magically, you know, disappear from your room, because you likely need to put your toothbrush and things like that you'll use the morning that you leave anyway. So you bring your bags with you to the front, and then you load up on the bus, and they take you right back, and it's just like, a free ride to get back. So then after I got settled in at the resort, Mom met me in the room, and actually it was a pretty kind of interesting process getting checked in. So you actually checked in through the app, right? So we did this reservation under Mom's name, and then I get a text from her as I'm waiting on the Magical Express, and she said, oh, our room's ready early. So but it sounds like you checked in on the app early, so maybe tell us what that was like.
Well, I think, gosh, it seems like it was a long time ago. They actually sent me a notification that I could check in early. So I went in the Disney app. It was probably a good month or more ahead. I think you can do it like 2 months ahead maybe.
Yeah.
But they sent me a notification that I could do that. So I got on. I just verified everything, making sure I had my credit card in there, talked about room preferences, and then, you know, basically that was it. I checked back and looked to make sure everything was kind of up to date, and they send little notifications here and there when you need to do stuff. So it kind of leads you through the process, which was helpful. It was easy. I think every hotel should do this.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as soon as my room was ready, I could go to it. I used my magic band to unlock the door. And actually, you got here before I did, and she already had it in her magic band and got in the room. So
yeah, so we didn't even have to be here together, which was interesting. And then you told them that we were coming early. Is that why they had the room ready early, or was that just by chance?
No, I wanted them to have the room ready early, but they said they don't take those kind of requests. So don't waste your time trying to call and get a room early. It just doesn't happen here, apparently, at Disney. But magically, it was ready early, so it worked out.
They like to set the bar low and then exceed your expectations. That's the Disney magic for you.
There it is.
So yeah, it was actually really nice. Like, they don't give you a hotel key. It's just like all attached to your magic band. And then if for some reason you don't have a magic band, you can actually get in through the My Disney Experience app, which is a really simplified process. Like, we'll walk you through a demonstration on how it works.
So you open your Disney app, then you find your reservation, and then there's a thing that says unlock door. Then you take your phone and hold it to the door, and voila, you're in.
So it's definitely not something that you could do like from the parks. Like, for, let's say for some reason you're in the parks and your sister wants to go back to the hotel room for some reason like that, but she doesn't have her key and she doesn't have her app with her. You would not be able to unlock the room from the parks like afar. You actually have to physically hold your phone up to the door. So, but it's a nice backup if for some reason, you know, your magic band's not working for whatever reason. So anyway, we got settled in the room, which is a gorgeous room, by the way. It is Bayou themed. Hopefully you've seen The Princess and the Frog. One of us in this room has not seen The Princess and the Frog, and it's not me. So we're gonna work on that.
I can't believe it's one that you didn't force me to watch when you were watching it.
It's been on Netflix for like years and years.
I think it came along later.
It came along in like middle school time for me, so it's fine. I don't hold it against
you. By then
you
were just watching movies on your own. I didn't.
Well, that's true. That was also when I was too cool for Ratatouille.
Or me. You're like, no moms, please.
Thankfully I grew out of that, right? And here we are back at Disney. The world is round again, right? So everything is good. So, but our room is super cute. We've got this like Disney princess corner over here. We've got like the swamplands, but it's definitely very regal in here. So into it for sure. We pretty much hit the ground running from the start of the day. So we had made a reservation for ourselves to have tea at the Garden View Tea Room, which is over at Disney's Grand Floridian Hotel, which is a very, very fancy and lovely, nice hotel that we've stayed at. Actually, we stayed there when I was in elementary school with a friend of mine and her mom and her aunt. So we've definitely been there before, but it's just gorgeous inside. I mean, it's like top notch out of all the Disney hotels. Like one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive option on site here at Disney. It's right by Magic Kingdom, so the location is prime if you're wanting to take the monorail, which runs right in front of the resort. It's a good place to be. It's where you treat yourself, so highly recommend to stay there. But we basically just walked in and we got seated for our tea reservation. I thought the tea experience was really nice. You know, it wasn't like being in the middle of Britain, but as far as Disney experiences go, it was a great way to kick off our trip. I thought we started with some champagne, and then we basically had the typical progression of tea. They start you off with the finger sandwiches, and then you move on to your scones, and then the desserts and pastries are at the end. I think my favorite part of it was actually this little raspberry tart. It was just like, I don't know, it was the perfect size. And everything about it was just like really good. Like the crust was flaky and it just melted in your mouth, and I love raspberry anything, so I think that was a highlight for me. What do you think the best part was?
I liked the caramelized onion tart.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was good.
I'm still like iffy about onions. Like, I really like the flavor of them, but when I get a crunch from an onion, I shiver a little bit. So
I would have eaten yours.
yeah, well, I think I ate the whole thing still. That's interesting though, like both of our favorite things were almost the smallest things on the platters. It's kind of interesting, but it just seems like that's something that we've been wanting to do for a while, so I'm glad that we finally got to check it off of our Disney list, the ever-growing Disney list. Then we decided we should kind of head back towards our resort. We did make one detour at the Best Friends Pet Hotel. So this is actually like right across the street from our hotel, the Port Orleans complex. But it's nice to know that they do have a facility. Like, Disney's not just for your kids, it's for your pet too. So we checked that out, and Mom had been considering bringing her dogs anyway at some point, so it was good to get the lowdown on it. I won't go into too much detail now, but it's just good to know that there are facilities like that. Disney just thinks of everything, honestly. So we headed back to the hotel and kind of walked around our resort for a little bit, enjoyed the gift shop, and just kind of soaked in the southern charm of the way our resort's laid out. And then we decided it was time to head over to Disney Springs, get some shopping done. So one of the benefits about staying on site at the Port Orleans Resort is that they have a boat that takes you directly to Disney Springs. So we hopped on that boat and took a chilly ride over to Disney Springs. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about that now because this video grows ever longer. So we are going to go ahead and just cut this video off right here, so that way I don't take up too much of your afternoon or evening or whatever time of day you like to watch these videos. So we will be back with you next week to talk about all of the fun things that we found at Disney Springs and go through some of how we're going to prepare to go into our longest day at the parks tomorrow. So thanks again for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can also feel free to follow me on social media. I am at the Travel Buffet blog on Facebook, or you can find me at the Travel Buffet on Twitter and Instagram. So thanks again for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.